Off your face, I mean.
I can wash anytime.
Get Donnie his shoes and make sure to give yourself a good scrubbing.
But
if soap won't do, try turpentine.
I want you spotless.
Mom, we're not having some interview.
Yes, and I would like you presentable.
Why do we always have
always that question? Why?
With all that war paint on, our daughter looks like an Indian.
Carl, our daughter is an Indian.
The reporter.
Who else would ring the bell? I meant to straighten up.
I suppose it wouldn't do to be seen the way we really are.
It wouldn't do at all.
Where will I find the jar of preserve?
Just inside the cellar steps, on the shelf. Mr. Riley?
So, you're Mrs. Dawes.
Yes.
I find that very interesting.
May I take your coat?
Oh, yeah, sure.
You do?
Well, isn't this lovely?
Lovely.
Such a friendly room. The people next door.
The people next door?
It's just an expression.
Would you care to sit down, or would you rather look about?
It's so normal. It absolutely amazes me.
I don't understand.
I mean, look at this room. It's normal.
What were you expecting?
Well, I was expecting some sort of service.
Yes?
But it's like a regular home, isn't it?
I'm afraid it is.
Perhaps we should get down to business. Well?
Mr. Riley, you asked for this interview. Actually, you rather insisted. I'll be glad to answer any questions.
Well, I thought you had prepared some sort of...
I have no prepared statement, if that's what you mean.
I'm only trying to be fair, that's all.
I understand.
This will be a big feature for our Sunday paper.
I'd much rather you use something more interesting instead.
Don't worry, this will be a sympathetic piece. Our editor's entirely on your side, and I'm on your side too.
You don't understand, but it doesn't matter. I said I'd answer any questions.
I better take down the facts before the photographer gets here.
Photographer?
We have to have pictures.
But why don't...
He'd be here already, but he only got delayed by a funeral he had to cover. The
Yes.
pallbearers would not get moved.
Yes, but we don't want
No candid shots or anything like that, just a nice family group. We'll see you get some extra copies as well.
We could use some family pictures.
Of course you would, and I have to say that I admire your spirit.
Mr. Riley, let's get through the questions.
You have a large family,
Yes.
and all the children are adopted.
Yes, all. When Carl and I found out we couldn't have children, we decided to adopt children.
And they all have very unusual backgrounds.
They have different backgrounds.
Do you object to the word unusual?
I just think you can overemphasize all that.
But the children have very curious ancestries.
There's nothing curious about it.
All I meant was under one roof.
One leaky roof and a very happy family.
But the ancestry?
The ancestry. That's what you want? Well, you can include Indians, Hawaiian, Japanese, Chinese, Filipino, Burmese, Korean, Malay.
I call that confusing.
Mexicans.
It depends on your point of view. Now, in China or the Philippines.
Oh, I forgot. I couldn't wash up. Donnie still got the bathroom.
Get in line at the kitchen sink.
Wait till Nan's parents accidentally glance down at Donnie's shoes. Will they be impressed? Excuse me.
Which one is that?
That's Rita.
And what is she?
She's 13.
No, I mean her nationality. We're American, of course, but what I'm getting at is her ancestors.
They were Americans too.
Well, you're not saying they came over on the Mayflower, are you?
You could say they were here to meet the Mayflower.
You mean she's in?
I believe it's part Sioux and part Apache.
Oh, I can see the Apache.
No, what you could see was the shoe polish.
They're beautiful. Like they were made especially. I've never seen anything so elegant.
What's so elegant?
Her older brother Donnie's dressing for his date tonight. And he has a brand new white shirt.
With French cuffs, no less.
She's adorable. What is she, part Japanese or what?
Laura's part Chinese and part Welsh.
How do you cook for such a crowd?
What do you mean?
Well, I guess some would want chili beans and hot tamales. I guess Laura has a natural craving for rice, chop suey.
Laura, sweetie.
What are you gonna do?
Yes,
Is there anything special you'd like for dinner tonight?
Me? What I like?
Do you have a craving?
Sure I do. Peanut butter and bacon sandwiches.
Anything else?
Coca-Cola, potato chips, gummy bears.
Stop. I'm afraid it tastes absolutely typical.
Is that what we'll have?
No. Now run along. We'll be having salad and meatloaf and plenty of milk.
Whoever had a craving for meatloaf?
I guess that was pretty stupid.
People just get silly ideas about different races. They don't stop for a moment and think.
Yeah, but still. Chop suey.
We have a relative who used to have a terrible prejudice against Mexicans. And he thought that the only good Japanese was a dead one. But he loves our Timmy. Dotes on Timmy. And he's half Japanese and half Mexican.
How did you come to start this social experiment? This living proof?
It's no experiment and no proof. It's a family.
But it has the effect of, well, I guess it shows that God moves in mysterious ways.
I was pretty angry with God when I found out we couldn't have children.
Oh, can I get the basic facts?
You see, I wanted a big family. Instead of wailing in the next room, sticking fingerprints on the woodwork, and then we decided to adopt children.
Just like that?
Adopting a child is the next thing to impossible. We had no money, no insurance. Wait until your debts are cleared up, and you've a bank balance, they tell us. And finally, we got Donnie. Stroke of luck.
The first was Donnie. Please don't mind me asking, but what's his background?
Johnny's a Nordic.
Where did the other children come in? The ones with mixed ancestry?
Well, partly because of Donnie. He wanted lots of brothers and even a few sisters. And I just wanted a huge family.
Why didn't you just get more like Donnie?
I suppose we could have, but Carl and I were so broke, and with Donnie added to our expenses, the adoption agencies wouldn't consider us. Not for a minute. Absolutely out of the question.
They do have a point.
Of course they do, but we were so sure we could manage. That's when we found out about the unadoptables. That's what they call children whose backgrounds are mixed. You see, if a child is part Turkish and part Portuguese, neither race wants them. Nobody wants them.
That's horrible.
The adoption agencies won't even consider them. There's so little chance they'll get adopted.
But those children probably need a home the most.
That's it. And that's all there is to it. We had a hard time convincing some of the social workers that we really wanted these children.
And
Children that nobody wanted.
now they're legally your children?
They're our children. Carl and I have always thought there should be a ceremony in the church with organ music and lots of flowers, of course. And we'd be asked, do you take these children for better, for worse, in sickness and in health, till death do we part? And Carl and I would answer, yes, we do.
Don't you get frightened sometimes? Frightened for the children?
Why should we?
People can be so thoughtless, so prejudiced.
Would you have us suit our family to people like that?
All I meant was, it must be difficult.
My husband's fond of quoting Matthew about having the faith of a mustard seed.
And nothing shall be impossible unto you.
It's gonna get it! Get off me! No! Get off!
You don't have to ring the doorbell. Nobody rings the doorbell.
I always ring, or knock, or kick against the door with my foot. Hello, Bernard.
Hey Bill, this is Doss. This is Bill Thomas, our roving photographer.
I'm not really such a rover.
Hello.
His photograph of flying saucers was found out to be a hoax, and now he's working his way back up again.
I'll show them. Someday I'll get a scoop, and then they'll have to.
Flying saucers.
It was an accident. Something happened to the negative while it was in the developer, and it really looked like
You probably forgot to adjust the agitator. Then you got a lot of little spots everywhere.
I was called to the telephone after